Hello and welcome to the Care It Out Sleep Show, a podcast for tired parents who are searching for a bit more sleep the caring way. I'm your host, Kerry Secker, infant sleep consultant, founder of my unique sleep approach, Care It Out, and your caring sleep supporter. I really hope you'll join me on my mission to get snores a settled night's sleep without the tears, training or techniques. I love talking about sleep and I can't wait to share my sleep subjects with you. My approach to getting you more sleep is simple, straightforward, but above all, it's got to make sense and feel best for you. Ready to get more sleep? Then let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Care It Out Sleep Show. This is your host, Kerry Secker, and today on the show, I'm going to be talking to Jenn from Love Boo, and I can't wait. We are going to find out more about bedtime routine and more about their lovely products. I am a big fan, and as you know, I'm not a massive. I tend not to push loads of parenting products, but this one I'm personally a fan of. Hi, Jenn. How are you?
Hi, Kerry. I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for having me on. And I'll try not to melt.
It is extremely hot, and if any of you are struggling out there with the heat this week, with you and your smalls, I promise you are not alone. It is so hot out there.
Oh, it's absolutely boiling. I'm up in Yorkshire and we're not used to this heat.
No, I think it was yesterday, or it might have been, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I'm in a bit of a muddle with my days, but I came home from work, just walking back from the office, and I was like, what are these red pipes on the floor leading into the block of flats? I was like, that's weird. And then I looked up and saw a fire truck and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I hope my flat's not on fire. And then when I went into the block, there was smoke coming out. You could see it coming out from behind my apartment block. So I kind of ran in, they let me in. So I was like, it can't be too serious. But what had happened was my apartment is behind the railway line. And what happened was the grassy verge bank there had caught fire because it was so hot.
Oh my word.
Yeah. So everybody needs to stay safe. It was crazy. I'm just really glad somebody, it was during the day and somebody noticed it, and the fire brigade, big love for them, came out and put it out.
Oh gosh, that's quite scary though, isn't it?
It is really scary. So yes, I totally agree with the melting. And my office is like it's like a bunker. There's no windows. The only window I've sat right near it, but I've had to close it because otherwise you can hear all the trains go past.
Oh yes. But it did say on the weather forecast last night that we should go continental and keep our windows and curtains shut.
Ah, okay.
In.
Okay, me and my husband argue about this constantly. I'm like, no, get the windows open, get the curtains open. So the continental advice is to keep them.
Yes, because as soon as it's hotter outside than it is in, you want to keep that cool air in. Coming overall weather in.
Yeah, I know. Expert in weather here. Sorry, I'll get back. I always go, of course. So, Jenn, thank you so much for coming on. This is very exciting because this is the first ever episode, the first guest on the Care It Out Sleep Show. So really exciting and big welcome.
Thank you.
I really happy that you want to come and talk to me. So just tell me a little bit more about who you are, what Love Boo is, and how it all got started.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to. So Love Boo started when me and the other owner, Karina, we both had our second babies at the same time, our girls. And we'd get together, we worked together, we were on maternity leave together, and we were really, we were into our products, we were into our skincare, and we were sitting together one day, changing the girls' nappies, and I was moaning about using ugly old grey tubs of, well-known nappy cream, and I said, we like our natural products, but why does everything for children and babies either look awful or is full of horrible ingredients? So it just started like that, like this conversation. We could do something a lot better. We were magazine editors, we were really into design, but we were also, I'd done stints on beauty desks, we were really into avoiding parabens, having natural ingredients. So it really started off as a conversation while changing nappies.
I love that. Some of the best. I think that's a very similar story to how my business started out. I was having a conversation with a mum in the park, and she was like, "I don't know this stuff. This stuff needs to get out there." So I love that story. Conversations over nappy changing.
I think that's how so many mums do start business.
Yeah.
They find themselves in this surreal world of, that they didn't know existed before, and then they find something that's just not there for them.
Yeah.
So that's when the ideas come.
Yeah, no, totally. Nappy changes lives. I love it.
Yeah. And I do think as well, when I look back on it, gosh, how ignorant we were. We had no clue about starting a business at all. And sometimes we'll laugh now and say, gosh, if we'd have known what it involved, would we have ever done it? So they say in ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Relevant. It's kind of, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. So I think if we'd have been proper grown-ups and run business partners, Love Boom may never have existed.
I think a lot of businesses, but I love that, a proper grown-up. I'm still waiting to feel like a proper grown-up, by the way, and I'm pushing the big 4-0. I think a lot of businesses probably wouldn't get to where they are now if we knew what we knew then, because I was very similar, very naive as well. I just thought it would be as simple as doing my flyers, handing them out to a few parents in the park. That was my strategy. How naive was I? And away I go, away I went.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. If I knew the reality that I'd be broke for 2 years, I'd have 2 clients in 2 years, I may have thought about it. But I don't believe we make mistakes. Parenting, business owners, everything we do we can learn something from it.
Definitely. I mean, we often laugh and say, we need to write a book called How Not to Run a Business.
Yeah.
Because of all the mistakes we've learned along the way. But like you say,
yeah.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Curves, aren't they?
I'll definitely come and co-write that with you, Jen.
Yeah. It's a deal.
Made so honestly, I look back and laugh at myself now. I was like, yeah. But when you look back then and see how far your business has come, Jen, because you are booming, you are selling all these amazing products, which I want to hear about more in a minute. It's just amazing. And I know that your products help so many families, which is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, from day one, I have to say it was really non-negotiable about ingredients. Our major things were that the products are made in the UK.
Yeah.
That we know about everything that goes in them, and everything, for babies still needed to be luxurious.
Yeah.
I mean, we often spend money on ourselves.
Yeah.
We want all these gorgeous, lovely ingredients, and then can think, but yeah, well, I'm just shove that in the baby bath. But we really wanted it to be effective, luxurious, made in the UK, no nasties, and look, not only have food shelf, because
yeah,
we want that as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, that was the list.
Yeah, I love that it's homegrown and everything is sourced in the UK. That is really important. But I think the most important thing for me is that newborn skin, baby skin, is so sensitive and new. What is it about newborn skin? It's just you just want to kiss it and squeeze it all over. But the luxury, like, life is all about little luxuries. I'm definitely a little luxury kind of girl. And things looking good in the bathroom cabinet. What is that about? I had to buy my husband a separate cabinet because I was like, I just don't want your ugly bottles looking. Don't want it. It's ridiculous. And nobody ever sees it anyway. It's not like we've got a constant stream of guests that see it, but I totally get that. It's really important. Those little things, those little luxuries can make a difference.
It's that everyday happiness, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Everyday joy.
Affordable, but luxurious.
Yeah.
And that's what we've kind of always been about.
Living your best bed life. I mean, living your best life, not just for bigs. But the other thing is that it is safe for newborns and little ones, and that there's no nasties in your products. There's no, what's that? I've totally had a brain blank. What's that word?
No nasties. So, yeah, that's paraben.
Yeah, that's the word.
The jury's still out on parabens. You speak to a lot of chemists and they'll say it's a phase, but it's a phase we're not willing to gamble with. We don't want parabens in there. But the biggie for me as well is sodium lauryl sulfate. So that's the cheap foaming agent. That if you look in lots of supermarket brands, If you look on the ingredients list at the back, and I advise every parent to do that, first you'll see aqua, water, and then you'll see sodium lauryl sulfate. But that's the same foaming agent that we use in our washing up liquid, that we wash our greasy dishes with. So we really don't want to use that on our little skin.
Yeah.
I have dry skin. If I use sodium lauryl sulfate, I feel itchy. But when you've got baby newborn skin, even if you're not sensitive, it's not the best. It's stripping.
Yeah.
So obviously you want cleansing agent, especially when we have those explosive nappies.
Yeah.
The ones that go right up the back when you pull the vest off.
Oh yeah, punami. A great tip actually for when you've got a punami, and I was a nanny for 15, 16 years. It might have even been more than that. Since I was 19, I was a nanny. And I only learnt this towards the end and I was gutted. But the reason why they have those slits, the baby vests have the slits on the shoulders. It's so that if they do have a punami, you can kind of pull them down rather than lifting the vest up and all over there, risking, I don't even want to say it, because it just makes you go, but getting all the stuff from the nappy all over their hair and their face. It's a good tip.
You know what, Kerry? I know that now, but I never knew it when my two were little.
Yeah, no.
We were talking about, I think, at a baby show recently. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that?
Yeah, it's great. Why? Do you know what? I could have a whole other conversation about this. There is so much out there. Like, why didn't I know that? Things starting a business when you've got a new baby, or even when your little ones are older. We never stop learning. And it's the same thing with the foaming agent. I didn't know about that.
No. Me neither until we, got into development, and so, why do these things dry? Why why does my skin get irritated when I use something, that just picked up at $1.99 on the supermarket shelf or whatever? It's because it's a cheap cleanser.
Yeah.
So there's lots of natural cleansing agents. Meadow foam, cottonseed oil, lovely ingredients that will gently cleanse the skin, which is ingredients that we use in our products.
That's so interesting. I think that's made me, like, every day's a school day. That's going to make me look more closely about what I put on my skin.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm drive my kids mad. If I'm shopping with my daughter now, before we buy anything, I'm standing there reading the ingredients.
I love it. How old are your kids now?
14 and 16.
Oh, yes, you were saying about the GCSEs.
Yeah, the food's been going. But like I say, for a couple of years, we were just coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
And we just launched the baby range to start with, just 4 products. Lots of toe wash and the baby lotion.
Yeah.
And nappy cream, our bottom butter, took absolutely ages to develop. We were so, stringent on what we wanted, and we couldn't get it developed how we wanted it to be, the perfect texture, that spreadable
yeah
butter. So we definitely took our time with it.
Yeah, I think products do. I mean, my whole business is based on services, so I don't have any products, but I've got great admiration, thank you for that word earlier, Jenn, for anybody that sets up their own business, but especially products, because I would imagine there's so much more to it.
Oh yeah, and stuff we never knew about. The brilliant thing is that because it's a product made in the UK, the safety testing is so stringent. The hoops you have to jump through to get product on the shelf. If it's got the made in the UK symbol, not saying that stuff from overseas isn't good, but they pass all stringent safety tests. They don't test on animals in the UK. I often get asked, are your products cruelty free? Yes, they are. Products made in the UK are cruelty free. But yeah, of course We absolutely are.
Yeah, and I think as consumers we're getting so much more aware. I know I wasn't so much aware about the shower gel and stuff and things like cleaning products, whole other conversation, but I think consumers are just getting so much more aware of what they're consuming, what's in their products, and are they safe. So the most important thing, your lovely products, which we're going to come on to more in a minute, they are safe for newborns, they're made in the UK, and they are nasty free.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of the newborn, all our products are safe, but we would say, and lots of midwives would say, wait a few weeks before you put anything on their skin. You know, just a little bit of warm water, get them used to the feel of water and that, the natural oils from birth absorb back into the skin, that kind of thing. Then, you know, then you have the fun with the nappies and, you know, breast milk in hair and all sorts of things. You do probably want to have a little bit of gentle cleanser in the bath. But also as well, it's great fun when you can have bubbles that aren't drying as well, because babies love bubbles.
Yeah.
Playing with bubbles as such. And we've had so many lovely emails and feedback at baby shows to say, you know, I'm so pleased we've got something that's natural, so my baby can actually have a bubble bath now.
Yeah, I bet you have. So let's talk about in particular, I want to talk about my favourite product from you, Jen. And I'm absolutely hooked. My husband's absolutely hooked. And I recommend it to all my sleep deprived families, is your sleep spray. You've got loads of other products, which I'm going to come on to, but this is my absolute favourite. Now, let's be honest, a sleep spray isn't going to be the magic cure for every sleep struggle out there. And I know that's what I really love about yours, is that you're not pushing it that your spray is going to save your sleep and it's this miraculous cure for a sleepless night. That's why that really resonated with me. You're not pushing that, and I don't push that afterwards. But babies have I'm sure you know this, but babies have a very keen sense of smell. And having we're going to come and talk more about bedtime routine, but having a scent that you use just for sleep, it can really help. There's so many different things that it can help with, but the two most important ones, which is why I recommend a sleep spray, there's three. One is that it can help them switch off. The lavender, the chamomile, all that lovely smells can really help them to calm down, soothe them, and that can help them switch off and settle to sleep, which in turn can help, fingers crossed, say a prayer up to the sleep gods. It's going to help them get settled to night's sleep. The other one is that it can also have it using a sleep spray at bedtime. I call it the scent of sleep, can really help them know that sleep time is coming, especially for really newborn babies, because they're day and night. All newborn babies are born naturally nocturnal. There's not a baby out there that's not born with their day and night muddled up because of being in the womb. So having a sleep spray in the early days or going forward can really help cue them and let them know that sleepy time is coming. And then the third one, it's brilliant for when you're traveling, because and again, my husband will kill me for saying this, but he has got a very keen sense of smell and he will not travel anywhere now without his sleep spray. It's hilarious. Baby sleep spray he uses. But going away can feel a new hotel room, a new room at granny, grandparents, friends, wherever you're staying, can smell a little bit unfamiliar. And taking the scent of sleep with you could, again, I also recommend taking this, it sounds really disgusting, but taking the sheet that they've slept on and a warm pair of pajamas too, that can help. But taking a little your sleep spray with you can also really help them settle down in an unfamiliar environment as well.
I think, you've completely covered it there, Karen. I love that idea of the warm PJs and the sheet.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I would do, I suggest sometimes to families, is if your little one is starting nursery, you can spray a little bit of their sleep spray on a bed ted, on a muzzy, and send it in with them on their blanket. And again, that can help not just with sleep, but it can help things feel familiar and help keep them calm at nursery, help with that transition, or daycare, childminder.
Yeah, I think all those unfamiliar territories, we can talk about how we feel or we might be nervous and things like that. A baby or a tot can't necessarily put that into words.
Yeah.
I think they've got a familiar smell. And I think, like say with your husband, with us, we a European train holiday. The sleep spray was amazing. You know, just to spritz on. Oh, it is sitting in a train carriage for 6 hours, or you know, getting on a plane. I mean, how many of us get nervous about travelling with children? Getting on a plane. Oh my goodness, are they going to scream the whole plane down for the next 4 hours?
That's a great idea. So you could use the same thing with spraying it on a bed head or spraying it on a favourite cuddly toy. The same thing, you could do that with an object that you're taking on the plane. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've always said with the sleep spray. And like you said in your intro, it's not going to send anyone to sleep immediately. If it's the magic to sleep spray, you know, the world would be going crazy. But it really is that sensory cue and that familiarity.
Yeah.
And that sense of routine that you can almost take with you in a bottle.
Yeah.
When you're out of routine. So grandma's house, car seat, like you say, cuddly pie, muslin, all those things.
That's a great idea. And what you just said there, I think, is really, really important. And it's for whatever you're consuming on the internet, social media. You are the expert of your little one, hands down. And there is no magic sleep secret. Nobody has that magic sleep secret. Nobody, because there just isn't one. Sleep is a biological process, and you can't beat biology. So I honestly don't believe that there's a magic cream, spray, secret that people are holding on to. Otherwise that person would, I think they'd be living on a desert island in their riches, I think. I think that's really important. And I think that's why I really loved your products, because honesty is really important to me. It's one of my biggest values, and I really, really respected that. It was like, this is a sleep spray that you can use, or products you can use. In particular, I love the sleep spray, so I'm not going to stop talking about that sleep spray. I love it. You weren't pushing it that it's going to solve all the sleep worries in the world, like it's this miraculous cure. You were just honest with it, and I just really respect that, and I love it.
Yeah, I think I think adults too, we all have different sleep experiences, don't we? And I love what you say. It's such a gentle approach to baby sleep. Everybody is different, including every baby.
Yeah.
I'd say the only thing to look out for with a sleep spray is, again, harking on about it, but looking at the ingredients. I've seen sleep sprays on the market that I just have a fragrance, not a natural extract. You know, so if you haven't got real lavender in there, and you're just a pretend lavender, you know, you're just spritzing a bit of water in the air, basically. So chamomile, lavender, patchouli, all things that we know naturally work to calm and soothe. That's what you're looking for in your ingredients. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. And just for the record, your sleep spray smells, in fact, just talking about it is conjuring up the lovely wafts that you get when you spray it. It just smells divine, and I've tried a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It smells amazing.
It is really nice.
So a couple of questions about the sleep spray, because I get asked these a lot, and it'd be great to get some clarification straight from you. Do you spray? How far in advance do you spray it at sleep time? Do you do it 10 minutes before they go to sleep? Do you use it just before they go to sleep? How does that work?
I find that we've all got our own little routines, but I would advise us half an hour before sleep time. So that moment when maybe gone into the bedroom together, got sleepy suit out, arranging teddy, pulling the bedclothes down, closing the curtains. It's all part of that night story.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, and we'll spritz our little sleepy spray. Just doing that kind of running commentary is quite nice while you're doing it. We always used to say, good night, Mr. Sunshine, when we close the curtains. It's that kind of time when things are starting to quieten down. It can even be before bath time, so you can spritz it together, go and have bath time. That smell's still there when you come back in. Do a little bit of massage maybe, and it's all that sort of quieting slowness that's happening. I mean, for older children, I have a friend who uses it with her daughter who I think 7 or 8, and for her it's her no nasty dream spray, you know, so that the spray is spritzed as part of her calming down routine. And often children go through that stage, you know, will I have any bad dreams tonight, will I? Or, you know, monsters under the bed spray. So it's that kind of whatever fits for age and stage you have to have.
I hadn't, again, every day's a school day. I hadn't thought about that, about using it for older ones as a little spray. Yeah. Like a dream catcher. What a great idea, Jen.
Yeah, I think so. It's that little bit of anxiety that can come when you're an older child and you know about bad dreams and or you want that night light on and, you know, or where will you be when I go to sleep or, you know, that kind of thing. It's that for us, how having to reduce anxiety, it can work brilliantly for all ages.
Yeah, I love that idea. I might have to pinch that from you, Jen.
Oh, well, it's a pinched idea anyway. Talking to all the mums, you know, it's like you say, every day's a school day.
Yeah, every day's a school day. And I do the same. I spritz it just before I go into the room, close my curtains, spritz it. Then I'll go and clean my teeth, wash my face, and then I go back in. So yeah, I really love that idea of doing it just before. Yeah. So it's there as they're having their bath, they're getting their PJs on, getting ready for bedding.
It's kind of sown the seed then, hasn't it?
Yeah, I really like that. And then the other question I get asked a lot is, where do you spray it? Do you spray it on their clothes or do you spritz it in the room?
Yeah, again, it is completely personal, 100% natural, 100% safe. So it can go on mattress, sheet, pillow if they're using one, grow bag if they're using one, the curtains. I think depending on your room, you'll find out what kind of days around the bed. I like to do sort of tops of curtains because I just feel it kind of fills the room, and then just up and down on their quilt. Yeah. So it kind of that it's just there. It's just absorbed. It's just in the room, and tends to last.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I love the idea of spraying it on your curtains. I always have a quick zhuzh on my pillow. I love it.
Yeah.
And your one lasts all night. Even when I wake up in the morning, I can still smell it.
Yeah, and that's because it's natural rather than an artificial fragrance that just won't.
I love it.
And also, I'm you know, like the sniffy toy, you know, the little, what are they called? My daughter's was called Lali, but it was a little kind of little lamb that was just a head.
Yeah, a comforter or a bed head.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What did your daughter call it?
It was Lali, and it was a lamb.
Lolly lamb.
Nice one. It was a lamb, but just it sounds quite sinister, doesn't it?
Just a head, but
just a head with a kind of little sheet attached to it.
No, I know the ones you mean. I used to. It reminded. The reason why I ask is because it reminds me. When I used to look after a little boy now. Gosh, he must be 19, 20 now. And I doubt he's listening. He's got better things to be doing with his time, I'm sure. So he won't mind me saying, but he used to have a little bit of a blanket with it was the same thing with a head on it, that he carried this massive blanket everywhere, and it was massive, but it still had that head thing on, or maybe the mum sewed it on. Anyway, he used to call it a Lala.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, which was weird. I don't know where he got that from.
We had Lali and Fair Lali.
I love it. I've had loads of doo-doos, bar. Loads of names. That's really cute. And you've I think that's all the questions I've got on the sleep spray. When to spray it, where to spray it. It's completely safe. You can use it from newborn, but you'd recommend waiting a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Waiting a couple of weeks. And you very, very, very generously have given Care It Out listeners a really generous discount of 25% off the sleep spray. Yeah,
that's valid now. And used on the website, loveboo.com. Because give it a try. I think it's definitely worth trying. If you're struggling or if you're not struggling, especially in the summer holidays, I think, because everybody's routine changes. And in this heat, we're all struggling, aren't we? We get to sleep. We're all a bit panicky before we get to sleep.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm really hoping it's such a, I think it's quite a British thing to do, isn't it? When it's raining, we're like, oh, I wish it would be sunny. And then when it's sunny, we're like, it's too hot. But totally agree.
Never happy, are we? And I don't know if you've been watching the story on our Instagram, but a good one of the Love Boo team is getting married on today, so we're all obsessing about the weather.
I have to say, so just going back to the discount because I forget, so it's 25% off the sleep spray. Thank you so much. I know that that's going to help so many of parents that are listening. You can find it at loveboo.com. It's just for the sleep spray, and I'll also put the link and the discount code. The code is Sleep It Out. I like what you did there, Jen, and I will put it in the links for the podcast as well.
Brilliant.
So it'll be there for everybody. And honestly, thank you so much for that. I will definitely be stocking up.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And then going back to your stories, I'm not one for getting sucked into Insta stories, but I cannot. I'm absolutely hooked on Gemma's stories on Instagram. I love one that she painted the door yellow. That was brilliant. Because my colour is yellow. I loved that. And I'm literally obsessing every day. I'm like, I've got to go on and see what she's doing. It's brilliant.
Oh, she's great. She's great, Gemma. And, like I say, when we do the baby shows, the next one we're doing is in September in Manchester. She's always there, knows everybody who comes, every year, knows everybody's baby's name, just one of those great people to be around.
Yeah. No, I love her. So if you are listening, it is definitely worth going to check out her stories. And Gemma, if you're listening to this, or pass it on, Jen, I'm just wishing her lots of love and luck for Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
Where's she getting married?
She's getting married in the town hall in Wakefield, and then she's having a great big, her house leads onto a field, and she's having a great big giant picnic. So
that's so romantic.
Bringing our own picnics, and she's got a big pizza caterer coming, and music and fireworks. Very casual, very relaxed, and wonderful.
Sounds wonderful. So I have actually got goosebumps now. I'm just wishing her. Everybody loves a wedding. Everybody loves a wedding.
Can I just tell you, Kerry, I have got to like stress because I'm making her cake. I can't bear to cook it during the day because it's too hot. So in the evening, I'm kind of working away on the cake.
Yeah. Fingers crossed with that cake. I really hope it calls. Is it an iced cake?
It's they call them the naked cake, so it's slightly iced, but you can sort of see the cake through it. Lots of fruit, lots of flowers, 3 tiers thing. So it's making me hungry, actually. Yeah,
it's making my tummy just went. I don't know if you watch my stories, but part of Wednesday is my biggest day every day is pretty full on. Like I'm not one, I like a very stress-free life. So I don't I don't book back to back. I call it paced and purposeful because I can't help people if I'm running around like a blue ass fly and that people aren't going to enjoy it. And also I really want to enjoy I can't remember who said it, but one of my favourite phrases is, I've got loads, but one is that how you spend your days, that's your life. So I want to really enjoy speaking to people and taking the time. But Wednesday is I think it's middle of the week. All the families that I'm working with always want to call. I have a double clinic. I have clinic in the morning, clinic in the afternoon. So full on day. So every day, every Wednesday, I have a cake, and there's a new cake shop that's just opened like 3 minutes from my office, and she's the cake. Honestly, I've never seen cakes like them. They are beautiful. She supplies Selfridges, Liberty. It's amazing, and it's right on my doorstep. So every Wednesday is Cake Wednesday, and I've been putting a different cake on my stories every Wednesday, apart from yesterday because I went and she saw me coming and she shook her head and she was like, I'm really sorry, everything's melted. There's no cakes. I was like, no, where is my cake? So I had an ice cream. So all was not lost. So it was fine.
Ice cream's good on a day like this. But I feel sorry for the cake makers.
I know, I never thought of like that, like the heat wave, how that would impact businesses.
Well, I'll be checking you out on Wednesday to see what you're having next week.
Honestly, they are beautiful. Like they're almost, I would never do that and not eat it, but they're almost too pretty to eat. Like they're sparkly, glittery. Oh, and they, honestly, I haven't tasted your cake, Jen, but hers are divine.
Oh, it's making me hungry now.
Yeah, I might have to go and have some cake. No, I had ice cream yesterday. It's only on a Wednesday. But yeah, wishing you all the best for the cake, because that's a big responsibility.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. That's even bigger than the ring, the wedding ring.
Oh, don't do it like that.
Bet you're glad you spoke to me today, Jen.
Oh, well, I'll keep you updated. We'll have it on stories.
I'm going to be hooked on stories on Saturday watching her.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then I'd also like to touch on, because it's not just the sleep. I know I talk a lot, but I talk about the sleep spray a lot. But it isn't just the sleep spray you have. You also have products for mums to be. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. They came afterwards. We launched with the baby range, and we were just getting asked all the time for pregnancy products. I know when I was pregnant, I was nervous about what I could use, what I couldn't use. You know, the goalposts keep changing. Can I use lavender? Can I use this? Can I use that? So we wanted to create a range that was 100% fine. You know, no questions, no worries, no concerns. All used. All can use through pregnancy, through nursing, afterwards, after birth. So that's what we did. And our kind of jewel in the crown is our miracle oil, which is a stretch mark oil. So when your skin's stretching, and again, completely transparent, we're not saying this will get rid of all your stretch marks. And actually, why would you want to get rid of them? You know, you've been on. But what it will do is calm down any angry looking ones, and help the skin before it stretches, to its actual peak. Help it with the layer of collagen underneath, help the skin stretch. It's got argan oil in, again, 100% natural. So it really, really helps skin supple and just feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it sounds gorgeous.
It does. I've personally used this product, and maybe that's where I found out. Maybe that's how I found out about you, Jen. I
discover the miracle oil first.
Yeah, I think that's probably where. And it wasn't for pregnancy stretch marks. It was, I used it because I lost loads of weight and I had like really bad stretch marks. I've just remembered, I have a feeling I was talking about it with somebody that I was working with, a parent I was working with, and she said you should try this miracle oil, and I think that's where it came from. I think that's how I found out, and then I found the sleep spray. But I use it on so it's not just for mums to be. I use it and it's fantastic. It smells amazing. It goes on. I put it everywhere.
I do, and it absorbs as well. You're not waiting to get dressed.
Yeah.
Come out of the shower, your skin's slightly damp. You just put a few drops. It goes everywhere, and honestly, skin is like silk afterwards. It's really, really lovely.
Yeah, slather it on. And you've also got products that you can use in your baby's bedtime routine. So I'm a massive fan of a bedtime routine. People, I think, sometimes get a bit scared when they hear the routine because I think it's going to be really rigid. Like routine means rigid. I actually don't believe a routine is that. For me, routine just means that you're doing the same thing in the same order every single time. That's all a routine is. And babies, but everybody loves a routine, but especially smalls, babies and brand new babies, because it comes back to doing the same things in the same order every single time. It helps them to anticipate what's happening. They know exactly what to expect. And a bedtime routine, it's being a brand new parent, sleepless nights are to be expected for a little bit. There's no getting around that. They're born naturally nocturnal. It takes a while for their circadian rhythm to kick in and the sleep cycles to set up. But you can start a routine off from very early days, from day dot, if you want to. Just, again, I'm not a fan of the shoulds. It's just whenever you feel ready. And a bedtime routine, it's just going to sleep for your little one. Even if you're bed sharing, co-sleeping, they're sleeping in the same room, it's still a period of adjustment, and there's some separating for you. So I often call bedtime routine preparation for sleep separation. And having a bedtime routine, it could be something so simple as just doing 2 or 3 things in the same order every single night. So a bath, then going into the bedroom, or no, actually, let's go back a bit. So it could be something as simple as going into their nursery or your bedroom, closing the curtains, zhuzhing, I love that word, zhuzhing your sleep spray around a little bit. Me too, zhuzhing. And you can use that zhuzh for lots of different things, but you can go in, zhuzh the sleep spray, close the curtains, good night sun, hello moon, get the room set up, give them their bath, splash around in the bubbles, back out, nappy pyjamas, back into their nursery or their bedroom, wherever their sleep space, wherever they're sleeping. Do the nappy, PJ, sleep sack if you're using one. I wouldn't imagine anybody's using a sleep sack in this weather, but if they're using one, quick sleepy song, quick story if they're up for it, and then settle your little one to sleep. And that's all, a bedtime routine can be as simple as that. That can really help. It's the same with the sleep spray. It's your bedtime routine. It's not going to be, you hear it all the time, bath, book, bottle or boob is going to be the key to a settled night's sleep. Yes, it's important. It's one of my 4 sleep steps to a settled night's sleep, but there's no guarantee or given by doing a bedtime routine it's going to help with the nights, but it does play a part, and that's because it lets your little one know that transition period. It lets your small know that bedtime's coming. It helps calm and cue them for sleep, and it helps them switch off and settle down.
Absolutely, I agree with all that 100%.
Really important.
I think it's, again, I've talked about the kindness of the routine and being kind to yourself and it not being rigid.
Yeah.
I also would say that, the routine helps a parent as well, because, being at home with a baby all day, it's tiring, it's exhausted, and also it can be boring. I wouldn't to say that's okay. And so many mums I knew, looking forward to 6 o'clock till 7 o'clock, and I can get to that bed. Having a routine absolutely helps mums and dads as well, I think, because if we're slowing down and singing gently and doing a little bath time and closing the curtains, it will actually help us relax. And if we relax, then baby follows that cue as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I also think a little baby massage is really lovely to do after that. If it's warm enough for them to just lay on a towel there or with a nappy on, it certainly is now, isn't it? When they come out of the bath. I remember when I had my son, I went to a baby massage class, and I don't think there's ever all the babies laying down on that towel having the massage class. I think most of them were feeding or weeing or crying at the time.
Yeah.
What I realised was we don't actually need to know any specific techniques. Just have it warming the oil onto your hands and just kind of doing that gentle rub and sing song, and baby eye contact. Baby loves that.
Yeah.
And that also will calm us down as well.
Yeah, touch and eye contact is so important. And in the sleep industry, there's loads of advice out there that's saying, don't make eye contact with them, don't touch them, you're going to spoil them, they're going to find it hard to settle to sleep. I don't believe in any of that bed baloney. I'm all for eye contact. I think it's really important. Boost that attachment. Humans, we are made for connection. We need to connect with other people. Again, this is a whole other idea for a podcast, but I really struggled. I had, when I first set up the business and I worked from home, it came about because I kept on nannying for a couple of days or a couple of hours around what I did. And then 5 years ago, I decided to just go with the business. It got to the point where I just needed to go full time with the business and work on it full time. So I left there, and they were going to school anyway. So I left there, came home, worked from home for 3 or 4 years, and I found I loved my job. I have great friends. On paper, I had no reason to be, upset or struggle. But I mentally and physically, I really struggled with it because I was so disconnected from people. I was just sat in my office, home office, spare bedroom all day, and I spoke to people. I was speaking a lot to other people, but I had no eye contact and no physical kind of people around me, and it really, really impacted my mental well-being. And it got to the point where in the morning I was waking up crying because I didn't know what was wrong with me. To be honest, I was like, why? What is going on? But I realised it was because, and I don't know how I came to realise that, but I realised it was because I didn't have people around me. So I then moved into an office. So as humans, we are meant to have eye contact and be touched and have that physical proximity to other people. So it's, as for grown-ups, it's really important, and it's for parents as well, it helps, but for little ones, eye contact and touch, it's so important.
I think it's like you say, we both need it, don't we? Small and big, both massively benefit from it.
Definitely.
So I think that's the lovely thing about bedtime routine, is that you both benefited. No, I really love that. And again, I really loved your honesty there, that actually is really boring and the parents need that routine as well, because it is really hard being at home, by yourself all day, because again, everybody's needs matter in that dyad. I think that's really important. I really like that. Yeah. I mean, there were some days, and it felt like I just had CBeebies on all day long. But then the night time song would come on, CBeebies at 6 o'clock. Right, come on.
Yeah, I love that.
It just sometimes you just need to know that at this time you'll be doing nothing else but breathing in loving lavender and rubbing smiles into your baby, and baby will massively benefit. But you will too.
Yeah. I love, I'm all massage as well, while we're touching on massage. Again, it's the same thing. Using the same massage oil can help you calm them down for sleep. They know sleep time's coming. And then the massage strokes, it can be great to calm and settle them down to sleep. It can also, if you've got a refluxy or particularly windy, colicky baby, massage can help there. But most importantly, massage in the bedtime routine really boosts your little one's bond, or actually it's both your bonds. And that again can really, it comes back to the going to sleep is a bit of a period of separation from you, even if you're co-sleeping and bed sharing. They can't see you, and that can really help with that as well. And if I don't buy into this whole that you can spoil a little one, I think the more a positive attachment, I think that's really important for sleep, because you can't teach independence or them falling asleep by themselves. It comes from them feeling safe, secure, having that eye contact, having that bond, and I do believe that's what can really help sleep.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree, Marco.
Definitely. Jen, it's been I feel lovely talking to you. I have learned so much. I'm definitely going to be looking at what I put into or in and on my skin going forward. I'm definitely going to be using that 25% discount and buying loads of sleep spray and looking at your other products too. Before we wrap up, do you have any tips for parents if a lot of parents that are listening might be struggling with their little one's sleep, or might be struggling with parenting, or just finding things a bit tricky? Do you have any advice for them?
I think you've covered things brilliantly, Kerry. I think that the routine is number one. Again, for me, we love a routine, and it's not just about baby. We as adults love routine as well, and especially in times of stress or feeling a bit down, getting enough sleep. And I used to get really annoyed when people told me this, but the whole sleep when baby sleeps. How about every other night when you put your baby down to sleep, you go to sleep well, or you try, or you just relax and use the pillow spray and have the bath. Often, and I know I felt like this, right, this is me time now. I'm going to watch the box set, and put Netflix on, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But what is better than sleep? We all know had plenty. So I think by my time again at the new mom, I would definitely take the advice that people used to give me and, prioritise sleep for yourself as well.
Yeah, it's great advice.
I think something I also did, but I don't think helps, is the carrying up baby to bed when they're asleep. We've all done it, we've all have, and it's so wonderful having your little one falling asleep on you. Doing the routine, and you're much more expert than me, Kerry, on this. But that's the realisation when you put your baby falling asleep downstairs with you, and you just plonk them in their bed, and they wake up startled, like, where the heck am I?
Yeah.
I think not getting into that kind of habit is helpful. But just the songs, the massage, the little phrases that we say, the good night, Mr. Sunshine, even reading the same book and saying the same thing. We had a little I Love You song that we sing. Those things are just worth the weight in gold, and they are things that you will look back on and remember.
Yeah, definitely.
That will always be special.
Yeah, I love that. And just going back to what you said about them falling asleep on you downstairs, I don't believe in bad habits at any age or habits at any age or stage. And I totally agree with you that sometimes we just do things, sometimes we're just on autopilot and we don't realise what we're doing. But in the first 3 or 4 months, a lot, the SIDS guidelines are to have your baby close when you're sleeping. So if that's working for you, having them downstairs, that's absolutely fine. And as they get older, it's really funny because there is a lot of stuff out there that says, you've got to teach them to fall asleep by themselves, put themselves down drowsy or awake, or they're never going to sleep, you're ruining their sleep. All these things where I have expertise and experience I want to share. You are your little one's expert. I've got the experience and expertise. But from my experience, I've worked probably 60% of families I work with, we don't look at how the little one goes down. So cuddling, holding to sleep isn't an issue unless it's an issue for you. Sometimes it does. It can impact the decision of the sleep cycles, and then we look at it. But I think it can be really helpful, which was what you were saying about where they fall asleep and then they startle. If you can, once they have got their bedtime routine established, having them fall asleep in the room where they're going to wake up, I think that is really good advice.
Yes, yeah, I agree, and I absolutely agree with what works for you, may not work for other people.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of individual approach is definitely the right way.
Yeah, they're also different. Every family, every baby, it's crazy how all different we are. We're so similar in so many ways. Like we all want that connection and that eye contact and that validation, but we're also really, really different.
Yeah, and I think that's what's lovely about your work and your advice, Kerry, is that it states that first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I think, in the world we live on now, we do a lot of comparisons and comparing and judging it. And I love that. That just takes that all away.
Yeah.
What works for one family is completely different for another family.
That was the most important aha moment for me, for the reason why I wanted to go and set up. Well, it wasn't called Care Out in the beginning. That was a brainwave that came later. But originally I was Kerry Cares Parenting. And that really was my why I wanted to do it, was to reassure parents that there is no right way to do it, and that your way is okay. And I haven't really changed from that. I think that's really important. We all do things a little bit different. I like to say we all do it our own way, and that's okay, as long as it's working for you.
Yeah, that's lovely, because you're starting off with kindness.
Yeah. Kill it with kindness.
Absolutely.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
We can't always be happy and shiny all of the time. In that vein of being really honest and open and transparent, nobody is happy and bouncing all of the time, even if they give you that impression. I think that's really important too. Amazing. Well, Jen, honestly, I cannot thank you enough. I really, really enjoyed that. And I've had a bit of a break from doing the radio show to this, and it's just reminded me actually how much I love talking to people.
It's lovely. It's really nice, and it just relaxed, and I'm so pleased. I'm touched up to be your first guest as well, Kerry.
Yay! Making Carrot Out history. No, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you. I've definitely learnt some new things that I will be taking into my practice, and I'm pretty sure that anybody listening as well will find that very, very helpful, especially your little words of wisdom at the end. That was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and sending Gemma the best of luck for I nearly said Wednesday, for Saturday, and for you with the cake as well. I'm going to be definitely looking at stories.
Yes, keep updated. I'll try not to eat it if I won't miss it.
I'm definitely going to go for cake this afternoon after all this cake talk. I'm going to do it. Thank you very much. Lots of love. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Kerry.
Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to me, your host, Kerry Secker, on the Carrot Out Sleep Show. I really hope you found the podcast reassuring, informative, and a little bit fun. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the show below, and I'd be so grateful if you could leave me some fabulous feedback. I always love hearing from you, and one lucky listener will win lifetime access to my Bedtime Basics e-course every single month. My next podcast episode will be out in 2 weeks' time, but if you can't wait for more of my sleep shizzle, you can find me over on Instagram at Carrot Out Sleep Consultant. I update my sleep squares and speak sleep there on the daily. Big love and sleep solidarity to you all.